Hey, girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your JOB? Because you're a C.A.T.S, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow podcast.
Hello, friends. It's the two Kristins coming together. Hi, Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
I know sometimes that mute button just gets in our way. So, Kristen, tell me a little bit about what you're working on these days.
Well, I'm a faith-based life coach. I'm also a mom and a wife. And I am working on a Becoming Calm, Confident, and Connected course. I'm in the middle of that online course right now and have about people that I'm working with to try and help them be more calm, confident, and connected. And I have a whole lot of ideas and a whole lot of things that I want to keep working on. And limitless possibilities, even though it's a little stressful and I overwhelm myself with all the possibilities.
Why is it so important for all of us to stay calm?
Because that's when we can get the inspiration, and that's when we can get into our thinking brain. Because for me and most of my life, I'm a very active, reactive person, especially with my kids or when situations come up that I can't process, that if I'm not calm, I just go over the top and I yell, or I just get overwhelmed and I shut down. And so becoming calm has been like my motto, because that's how I can process situations and tell myself that everything's going to be okay, and then get inspiration if I need it.
So if something comes along for any of us, because I'm sure a lot of us just feel like kind of yelling a little bit these days, give us some strategies to bring ourselves back down.
Well, one of my main things is I breathe. I stop what I'm doing, even when I'm with my kids, and they can attest to that. If we're walking out the door or they're fighting or whatever, I just take this big, huge, deep breath, give my brain some oxygen. And sometimes I do the 4 square breathing. I don't know if you've heard of that, but you breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, breathe out for 4, hold it for 4. And so that just gets your mind focused on what's happening right now and what's present, and not the past and the future. And then sometimes I pray for my next step, because sometimes I'm okay, I don't know what to do. And then a lot of times when I breathe and when I calm down, the thoughts come, and I'm able to process the situation and come and be the mom and also the coach that I can be to help people.
I mean, breathing is absolutely so important. There's a whole book out on that I have on my Audible about breath.
Idea.
And it talks about the difference between breathing through your nose and breathing through your mouth.
Oh, really? What was that? What is that name?
If you breathe through your nose, I know I'm going to look up the author's name. If you breathe through your nose, it is much more soothing and calming. Whereas if you breathe through your mouth, it's more anxiety producing.
Really? Maybe that's
most of us don't realize we're breathing through our mouth, but we want to breathe that nose breathing. It's just, I don't know. Somebody told me about it and I read it, and I listened to it on Audible, but I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. So I try, except for when it's allergy season, to breathe through my nose. So how do you, we're both like, so how do you, so you're sitting there, it's the middle of a stressful day. You need some answers. You're a faith-based coach. How do you pray for those answers? What do you say?
Sometimes I just say, Heavenly Father, give me some help and give me direction. And a lot of times I just have thoughts and ideas that really help and inspire me. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes I'm like, okay, I have some time. Who can I help, or how can I help my kids? And I just get these thoughts and these inspirations. And, so many times if I'm open to, listening, I am able to, I've helped so many people just by doing that. And it's pretty miraculous how it happens. So
it's amazing how powerful being open is. It's kind of like having that open mind sometimes. And then flashes of inspiration or your own intuition kicks in. And then you'll just get that little nudge. I mean, it may not come the minute you ask for it. So it's not God, give me an answer. And the
Boom.
lightning bolt comes, you're knocked over. You're like, oh, thank you for the
Yes,
answer. Right.
yes,
It's like,
yep.
you got to go on about your day. And then maybe later that day when you're relaxing or when you're driving carpool or, all the things that we do, especially as moms, then that idea just kind of presents itself. So I think that's such a powerful reminder that if we ask and then we keep this open space for inspiration to come in, a lot of times we have the capacity ourselves to find the answers that we're seeking.
That's really true. And I think a big part, like what you said, is it might not come all at once, but I really try that if I do get it, that I really try and act on it, because there's so many times where I didn't, and I had wish I did. And so sometimes and I'm a very hard person to plan sometimes, because when I get those, I just want to go and get going. So I'm not the most organized and the most planned, but if someone wants to go do something fun, I'm willing to drop everything and go.
Plus, how old are your kids right now?
Yeah, 16, 12, and 8.
Okay. So I have 3 myself,
Mm-hmm.
and they're a little older. So they're 19, 23, and 25, but like they're still in the trenches. They're all still at home. So your time is not all 100% your own. So you're also navigating around all of them and balancing, family and partner and all those things.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my time's
So
now.
what's, who's somebody who inspires you?
I was thinking about that, and there are some specific people that do inspire me. Jody Moore is one of my inspirations. My mom is. And I was thinking about people who are willing to be vulnerable and willing to share the hard things in their life. Those are inspirations to me, because those are the kind of people that inspire the world and are ready to help people, move forward in their life by showing their example. And that means a lot to me.
I know. I think when we all run around and act like everything's so perfect all the time, and then when it's just not, like, I'm sorry, but who can it be perfect for in the world that we're living in right now? Let's keep it real.
That's so
it's just a
true.
total storm going on.
Yeah, that's my goal, is to start a podcast calling The Real Connection. And it's like, I want behind the scenes. I want what's real, like the hard, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, like it's all real. And we all need to share it so that we all can feel like we're all okay. We don't have to be perfect or show we're perfect to be okay.
I do. I think that sometimes we get those thoughts, especially as I've been like building out this C.A.T.S network. I'm like, what am I doing? I sit at home. I'm kind of a lone wolf. I'm like, why am I building a community of women? Like, this is insane.
So true.
You have these moments, and then I made all these videos and I was looking at them. I'm like, why am I blinking so much? Like, I can't even use any of those. And then a friend of mine is like, oh, shut up. You're using them. Just like, get over it. So, I think we all have all these thoughts, and like, those are only like 2. There's about 100 of them, right? That bubble up to the surface. And if we listen to them, we would never move forward. We would just stop. We would just stop cold and say, okay, I have way more reasons to not move forward than I do reasons to move forward, just because, we have so many of these thoughts that I think sometimes they sabotage us or keep us small or frighten the hell out of us, right?
That's so true. And I think that's the biggest thing why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because I was so stuck for such a long time. I was a mom and I was stuck in my thoughts thinking they were all true. And I was just paralyzed with fear, paralyzed with anxiety. And then realizing that I'm like, no, it's my thoughts and I can have power over them. And I want to help empower other people, to not get stuck like I got stuck. So
those thoughts are little liars.
Oh, so true.
They're so bad.
I know. And they play on repeat over and over.
Right. You're like, are you back again? Oh my God. Like, you would never tolerate any of that in real life. You'd be like,
So
get
true.
away. It's amazing. So do you have a mantra or something that carries you through?
Yes. The biggest one, and the one that carries me through, and that I started probably after I had my first son, where I thought my life was like, okay, I'm married now and I still don't feel peace. And I have a kid now and I don't feel peace. What is, where am I going to find it? And someone gave me the mantra. It was, I'm okay no matter what happens. Everyone's okay no matter what happens. And to me, that puts my faith in a God who is all knowing, all loving, and that he, as I'm trying, and even though when I make mistakes, that he's going to make sure I'm okay. And then the worst thing really is death, and we're all going to die. I don't mean to be morbid, but he's got me, and he is going to carry me through, and he's going to help me every step of the way. And that has bring me so much hope in order, for me to make it. And also, see other examples of people are really like, you just got to go slow and have patience and keep going.
A wise woman once said to me, go as fast as your slowest self.
Oh, I like that.
And I loved that because I thought about it, and I have a fast self, right?
Yep.
And she's usually in charge and driving everything. But sometimes as I've gotten older in my life, if I wait for my slowest self, sometimes I think the things that my faster self wants to do, my slowest self is like, I'm not so sure about that. It's like, if I thought about it a little longer, and now I do that, I'm like, maybe I'm not 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that too. I believe that there's like, a natural self and like a true self, like your spiritual self. And, as we come together with that, because like I couldn't be like a millionaire and have like 50 million clients tomorrow, even though my fast self probably would really love it. And I'm like, no, I don't think my body or my family or anything else could handle that. And my slow self is like, yeah, slow and steady wins the race. And I'm like, yeah, but I want to be here tomorrow. So I really like that analogy. That's like, oh no, let's reel up. We're doing just fine. We're not late. We're not behind.
We're not late. That's a great statement. We're not late. We're always on time. We're always exactly where we need to be. I think sometimes these statements, and that's why I ask, are so important because they keep us on track. We all have things that we say to ourselves, hopefully all positive, that keep us moving forward and staying on track. Well, what's next for you, Kristen?
Well, I'm going to be finishing my course in 2 weeks, and then it's an online course. I know, right?
High five.
And thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to be like tweaking it and perfecting it, and hopefully like in the fall, maybe relaunch it again to get more people as I tweak it. And then I really want to start a YouTube channel and a podcast and do about the real connection and talk about, people, behind the scenes. They're like, well, that person looks really put together. And I'm like, yeah, but what's the real, and allowing people, giving them a safe space to be vulnerable and help share their stories.
Great ideas. I love them. Divinely inspired ideas. Absolutely. Kristen, thank you so much for being on the Big Meow. How can we find you?
I am at findingpeacelifecoaching.com, and I'm working on my working on my website, and getting it all together. But there are also some freebies in there about the 40 life hacks for a busy mom to simplify their life. And then 7 top ways to help get out the door on time. So there's some under documents.
I don't know whoever gets out the door on time. My producer's laughing. I could be late to a virtual meeting. I mean, getting out the door, forget it. All right, Kristen, thank you so much. Amazing time together.
Thank you, Kristen. It was fun.
Thanks for listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by C.A.T.S Network. If you liked what you heard, please take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. You can also join our network filled with positivity and possibility. Visit www.catsnetworking.com to join us and learn more, together with your magical, motivated, and mystical new friends at C.A.T.S Network. Let's transform 1 million lives with your message. Are you feeling isolated, sitting at home in your PJs? Or perhaps you're tired of the comfy sweatpants with holes in them that are hidden just below the camera? I mean, you could puke at the thought of another day of Zoom meetings and reporting to your BOSS. Do you want freedom from your home office desk or the office cubicle? Do you want freedom from your current career? Or are you frustrated that your online biz dreams are going nowhere? It's all too overwhelming. Where do you start? All the tech, the choices, and your message. Yep, I said your message, your brand, your voice. What is it? Do you even know what that means? Do you need a biz coach but don't want to invest the big bucks? Let's face it, being a solopreneur is lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. And here's a solution. Join C.A.T.S Network. C.A.T.S Network is a woman-only membership community exclusively available to you, the life coach or executive coach, the author, the thought leader, or the public speaker. If you identify with this list or want to work on adding some of these to your skill set, C.A.T.S is the place for you. Check us out at www.catsnetworking.com. That's C-A-T-S networking.com. Because let's face it, cats are better together.